It's very normal for older babies and young toddlers to hit. They're discovering the world around them. They're learning about cause and effect and understanding their emotions and how to react to them. And you mentioned that you have a 7-month-old that is hitting and you're wondering what you can do to get them to stop and get over this behavior. Again, it is very normal. At 7 months of age, though, a baby doesn't understand words that you speak to them. So you can say no, and eventually they'll understand that, and it's not a bad thing to say no. But they do understand nonverbal cues. They get like a furrowed brow or a kind of like a negative expression on your face and a firm tone of voice. So every time your baby hits, firmly say no. And then eventually they'll understand what that means. And by doing this, you're laying the groundwork for what your expectations are. One of the reasons a child hits is that they get a reaction, whether it be positive or negative. Children like attention. So if they hit and you start yelling, then that actually reinforces the behavior. So instead of reacting, just again, have a firm tone. Don't freak out, but don't ignore it either. He needs to learn that that's not okay. And then eventually, as your baby gets older, they'll understand what acceptable behavior is and what isn't. Also, as your child gets older, you'll be able to enforce consequences for negative behavior. Something that worked well with our son when he went through a hitting phase is to grab his hands every time he hit. And you have to be consistent about doing it every time you see it, whether it's you or someone else, or even if it's just like throwing something, grab their hands and say, hands are not for hitting, or hands are not for throwing, and count backwards from 10. 10, 9, 8, and they'll squirm and they'll yell and they'll scream, but eventually they'll learn that that is a behavior that they don't do and that there are consequences for it. And eventually, after doing that for like 1 to 2 weeks, he got over it. And I knew that we'd made progress when he went to hit me one day and he totally stopped his hand. So it works. Good luck with it. And if you have more questions for me in the future, please feel free to ask them on our Facebook page at facebook.com/Intermountain Moms, and recommend us to your friends and family too.